I just wanted to show a video of an actual substitution of a meal that my family loves, and I make it for them all the time. So I just wanted to show you how I can eat the same exact thing, staying on my plan, using my macros, and my family can eat theirs. So yes, it requires a little bit extra because I'm making my own little dish of it because my food gets weighed out and they just get to eat out of a big old dish. So what this is, I don't even have a name for it. I just kind of came up with this recipe on my own. So who knows? Let's just call it chicken and hash brown bake, I guess. But what this is I have a layer of hash browns, and then I have chicken mixed with like some cream of mushroom soup, and I put in some vegetables and some seasonings and bake it, and it's really good. So just to start off, I'm using pre-cooked chicken. I like to cook my chicken in the crock pot on high overnight, and it gives me really soft chicken in the morning. Then I just throw it all in containers. I keep it unseasoned, and that way I can season it to my liking and my taste when it's time to make a meal that I want to make. So if I feel like doing Mexican, I can season it that way. If I feel like Asian, I can season it that way. So anyhow, and when you put it in the crock pot, be sure that you put it in and cover it up with some broth. You want to use maybe a low sodium, low fat, or fat-free broth because you want to keep your calories low. Keeping in mind you're not going to be consuming all that broth in the crock pot, but some of it will soak into your chicken. So anyway, just to start this meal, for my cream of mushroom soup base, instead of using a can because that packs way too many calories and fat and sodium, I'm going to switch that out, and I'm going to use Greek yogurt instead. And this is a protein source, so I'm going to use a little bit of this in place of my chicken. So we're going to say that my plan calls for 85 grams of chicken, and what I want to do is sub out a little bit of that chicken for some of this Greek yogurt. So I am going to go to my food calculator, which is just called Go Figure. We're going to go in there, and we're going to go to calculate, and I'm going to type in chicken and choose chicken breast, and I don't want to sub all of my chicken out. I only want to sub out a very small amount. So let's see, if I sub out 5 grams of chicken, so I just put 5 in there, and I'm going to sub for, let's X out of that, Greek yogurt, and I've got fat-free, Faye, however you say it, Faya, whatever. And that's telling me I can have 13.35 grams of Greek yogurt. So let's just say 13. Let's see how much 13 grams is. Well, I'm going to want more than 13 grams because right there is 25 grams, which will actually be enough. So I'm going to need to sub out a little bit extra chicken. So if I sub out 10 grams, then that's about 26 grams of the yogurt, and that'll be great. So I've got that, and just to make it a little bit more liquidy, I'm just going to add a little bit of chicken broth to it, and then I'm going to add in my seasoning. So I've got salt, got a little bit of pepper. You can use whatever seasonings you like. A celery salt would be really good in here. Garlic. I love sage. One of my favorite seasonings to use. And I basically can't eat anything unless it's super spicy. So some red pepper flakes. Maybe a lot of red pepper flakes. Okay, so that's just going to be kind of my little base. I'm going to just stir that up. That smells good. And then I'm going to zero out my scale. By the way, do you like this t-shirt? No Drama Llama. One of my favorites. Llamas are my favorite. I love them. Okay, so now I've got that all stirred up. I'm going to just zero out my scale. And so if my plan called for 85 grams of chicken breast, I substituted 10 of it out for my yogurt, so I can have 75 grams. Hold on. Forgot to grab a fork. And I like to just put it in pieces, just because it's going to be a casserole. I don't want it all clumped together. And don't worry, I'm the only one that eats this chicken right here in this dish, so I can touch it. Almost there. All right, perfect. 75 grams of chicken. Just gonna stir this up. Mix that up. And then my plan will call for half of a cup of vegetables. So I'm going to choose peas for this one. Half of a cup of peas. We'll stir that up. Okay, so this is going to be the filling to my hot dish. Casserole, whatever you call it. Depends on if you're from the South or the Midwest. So there's that part. Now my plan will call for 150 grams of potatoes. But what I want to do is sub out my potatoes for hash browns. So this is how you work on doing a sub. You're going to look at the main components. I know this is backwards because my camera is recording on the flip side, but you're going to look mainly at calories is what you kind of need to know, and your grams up here, your serving size. So then we're going to come to the food calculator, and I have a potato, but it's a sweet potato. So I put in my sweet potato and I put in my 150 grams, okay? And then when I go to just sub it out, it doesn't matter what I pick. I can pick hash browns if these hash browns are in the food calculator, but let's pretend they're not, because I would like to show you how you sub that out. So we're just gonna pick some random thing on here, like beans, okay? We're going to substitute. All I care about on the sub is where it tells me my 150 grams of sweet potatoes, and it tells me that's 129 calories with 28 carbs. So it's important that we stay in the calorie range, and so I know I have 129 calories to work with. So let's come to the sweet potato, or to the hash browns. Well, these are 80 calories. So I can't quite have 2 servings because that, of course, is more calories than what I can have. So I have 80, which I know for sure I get 1 full serving of these, right? But this shows me I can have 129 calories. So we're going to come to, we'll use a calculator, okay? We're going to take, I just spilled on my calculator, that's all right. 129, and we're going to subtract 80. That tells us 49 more calories of these is what we can have, okay? To figure out how many grams then that we can have of this, we're going to take our 49 and divide it by our 80, which is our calories, okay? Divide it by 80. That is 0.6125. In other words, that's 61%. Meaning, I can have 61% of a serving of these. So that's when you come up here to the grams, And this says 85 grams is a serving. So I'm just going to take my 0.6125 times 85. That gives me 52.06, but we're just going to say 52, okay? 52 grams, but remember, we get another full serving, right? So we add we add the 85 to that because 80 calories in 85 grams. So I'm going to add 85. So in total, I get 137 grams of hash browns, okay? I don't know why I say okay. It's like I'm talking to my children. Sorry. Let's stick this baby on the scale. 137 grams. So I'm just going to measure this out first. And in hash browns, that's a lot. I mean, volume-wise, you get quite a bit. And I will take it down to the morsel of a potato, I swear. Like, I won't be cheated a single shred. Okay, got exactly 137 grams on there now. So what I like to do with these potatoes is actually take part of them. We're going to put some of them aside because I want to line my dish at the bottom with some of the shredded potatoes. So I know the lighting is quite terrible. Anyway, I've got potatoes lined at the bottom of my dish, okay? This is a little thick, my chicken stuff, so I'm just going to add a little broth to juice it up a little bit. Now, if you want to have more of a mushroomy base, I had shown it in a previous video. You can use just a little teaspoon of this stuff. And this is a mushroom flavor. It comes in all sorts of flavors. This stuff packs a lot of flavor. It's really delicious. So anyway, now I've got my filling of my chicken and my peas. And then I'm going to top it with my leftover potatoes. And I'm going to throw my seasonings again on top of these potatoes. A little bit of salt, some pepper, and I'll probably just keep it at that, and then I'll add more hot sauce or red pepper flakes at the end if I feel it needs to be more spicy, but I know I have a lot in the filling. So there's my raw dish of food. Now my chicken's cooked, so really I just need to pop this in the oven to get it heated. But I want my potatoes to get a little crispy, so I'll probably throw this in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes, and then I will put this under the broiler to really crisp up these top potatoes. I hope you have learned something today. I would love to help you out with some substitutions, so throw me a comment if I can help out.